we're going to work on an old logging road that runs from here up to the top of that hillside behind me. Our property line runs way up there, so there's a flat spot at the top that I'd like to exploit. Maybe put the cabin up there, or if nothing else, make a set of trails around here that I can ride on. Boy can ride his bicycle on, stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do today. Try to get to the top. But there's a significant amount of deadfalls at the top of that tree, or the top of that hill. So I'm going to have to fight our way through there. Was the easy part. Just ran through there, picked some trees out of the way with the excavator bucket and threw them off side of the hill. The hard one is what we got going on up here, where we're actually roughing in a brand new road on what used to be an old bicycle trail that I rode on as a kid. Years ago, when the original owner of the cabin had this property, I guess he came up here to this very same place and dug out a pile of dirt and left a gully in between two little hillsides there. And I suspect there may be some garnets up here. I'm not sure. There's rumors of an old garnet mine. And this ridge is called Prospector's Ridge. As a kid, I used to go up in there and I'd find some every now and then, but it was just industrial grade stuff, nothing really worth having. So we'll work on that later on. But first off, we got to get a road going. Here's all we've got so far. About 80 feet of road. See that piece of blue flagging off to the right of the excavator on that little sapling? That's the neighbor's property line. Might be a little tight to stay 20 feet off his line, but we're so far back here on the side of the hill, I'm not sure that anybody really care if I encroached closer than 20 feet to the property line. It's all dogleg property up here anyway. Hands and knees deep most of the way. Here's what we're fighting to clear out as we make this road. You can see it's clear there in the horizon. It did not used to be that way. If you go back to my dad's landslide videos, I talk about how I suspect this was the beginning of the slide. There's about a 3 or 4 acre parcel up here where the winds are blown every which way. And I think with something not able to absorb all the water, it all ran down the hill. And then in conjunction with the earthquake up in Spruce Pine. So this is what we're fighting. What you see me grabbing here is prime mountainside topsoil. Underneath all those bushes and branches is some of the finest black dirt you'll ever see. And then immediately underneath that, some of the nastiest red dirt you'll ever see. But that top 8 or 10 inches is really, really nutrient-rich soil. Shame just throw it all in a pile. But it'll make a good home for a critter or another tree or something else. It shall continue the circle of life. Before I forget about it, let me tell you,
That is one steep hillside right there. Makes it a little treacherous climbing back and forth. Well, in true rookie fashion, I let my batteries die in my camera, and I didn't bring any more with me to the top of the hill. So I don't get to show you the finished product, but we'll try to view it here from the drone. You can see the road cut up through the hillside. It's a pretty decent little road. Portions of it are relatively steep, but a good side-by-side makes it up through there no problem. You won't be riding a bicycle up it. You'll be pushing a bicycle up it, but you can sure go screaming down it. Shift gears here for a minute. Talk about my water pump move. Originally, we had installed it up there next to the cistern. It's that blue thing on the right, 500 feet away from the camper. After using it all summer, I noticed several problems with my current system and decided it's time to make some changes. So the first thing to do was to move that pump down to the camper. That way I can insulate it and just keep everything close to the point of use as possible. I recall from some videos earlier when we installed this thing, I was having problems with algae buildup inside there, problems with water circulation, problems with my intake getting stopped up. So in order to alleviate all those problems, we're going to move the cistern to another spot and capture way more water and let the earth do the filtering for us. Now the algae you see in these videos here was from about 4 or 5 months ago, back in the summer, and it had gotten significantly worse, so it was time for a change.
Currently, we've got this water running down, and we're capturing it there below those leaves. Let me clear those things out so you can see what's going on there again. Part of the problem is this. I have to come in here, clean this stuff out pretty frequently, especially after a large rain event, because it just fills up the leaves, and then I have reduced water flow. There's my first one, and my second one's in there too. But that's our current system. We're capturing the water there. It's going down to the cistern, and then we drink it. Water level's pretty low right now, and we just got done with a bunch of rain, so I'm not getting the circulation through my cistern that I want to. So we're going to move our cistern to a different spot and capture this next spring. Here's our current well house. Let me take that back. Water pump house for the spring. Built this so I could insulate it. And my housing. Got the water pump, and then it runs through a strainer and up through a big water filter and a UV filter, and then another smaller filter for charcoal and whatnot, and then it runs into the camper. So we come out of the ground there, got a shut-off valve. That's where it's 500 feet of line coming from the cistern. And then it runs up here to the top of the pump, back out the discharge, ties into the back side of the pressure vessel, up through there, and then it comes up, and then this part is unfiltered. That runs to my hose bib outside and my water hose to flush my black tanks with. I leave it hooked up all the time. It's one of those heated hoses that works really well. But we'll come out of there, run to our first sediment trap, and then up here to our big household filter, and then on over to our UV filter, second filter, pressure gauge, and then another insulated hose for potable water to the camper. So far, I've been really pleased with how this worked out. We've had some weather in the teens at night, and this thing has never gotten below about 36 degrees. Either heat off the heated hoses, and then I put this light in here the other night. I had an LED light in here, but I put this one in here just as an extra heat lamp. We got some cold weather coming pretty soon, so I figured I'd just take the extra precaution, put a little heat lamp in here. And up here on the top of the camper, you'll notice these on both sides. Those are gutters. I tied those into the little drip edges, and they run out here and drip, drip, drip out here rather than drip underneath the carport where we've got the camper. Now, the way the metal runs on these carports, when it rains, if you'll notice, the ribs in the metal run this way, parallel with the camper. So when it rains, all the water runs off right there. And of course, that's where we walk in and out. So I got tired of cold water bouncing off my bald head or down the back of my neck. So I put a piece of gutter up there, and it drips off over there on the left. That works out really well too. Today is Christmas Day. So the boy and his dog right here playing with their new remote control cars. I got one too, by the way, and it's quite a bit of fun.
Guys, whatever you do, don't do this. This will burn the engine out, but it's actually a smart idea. That can clean the wheels off. So that's a smart idea right there. Tell me, right there.
Until it fries the electronics because it's not rated for water. That's why we bought two of them, though.
Well, I'd say that's enough of a collage, a mosaic, a hodgepodge, a mashup, mix-up, mixtape, whatever you want to call it, of activities in the last couple of weeks around here. So, until next time, be well, my friends.